name is Stacey, and this is my perfect interview assignment. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. So, personally, I am not one that likes to talk about myself. I find it really hard to talk about myself, but I feel that it's important to do so. So, for for job experience and stuff, my experience is that I have worked in two pet stores, vet. I have co-opted in a vet clinic. I have also volunteered at a vet clinic and also volunteered at a cat rescue. I feel like all those experiences have helped in my cases for this job, for any job, for this job, because with a vet clinic you experience um, some very slow times, and because of that you know there's always something to do, like you should even clean because it's a vet clinic and you always want to keep it clean when you are working with animals, and there's always laundry, so you always should do that. um, my experiences with working in in pet stores is that customers are always difficult, but I feel like because of that I have gained experience in learning how to deal with a difficult customer. I feel like I am an ideal candidate because I am very interested in working in the veterinary field. I don't and I can't imagine myself not working with animals. It's very hard to imagine myself not working with them. And I feel like I would be very suited as I love them, and I feel like I would be a really great person to work in within this field. Question 2. Have you ever made a serious mistake at work, and did you ever tell your boss, or did you wait for him or her to find it? So, I never made any very serious mistakes. Um, I think one of the main mistakes that I have made was over the summer when I worked at a global pet food store. I made the mistake of giving someone only one of their special orders when they ordered two. So the guy came in and asked for special orders. I went to the back and could only find one. So I gave him the one and I told him I'm very sorry, but I can only find one. And he seemed kind of upset, but he was okay with it. So I went to the back again after he left to clean or something, and I found the other special order. So I went all the way to the front, found where our special order booklet is, and I phoned the customer and left a message saying that I was really sorry and I feel really bad, but I had your second order. It was right here, and I feel really bad. I left my name and number. I left my name and the store's number, so if they had any questions or concerns, they could call me back. I didn't hear anything from him, so I feel like he maybe came back the next day and got it anyways when I wasn't working or something. But yeah, that's. But if there was a mistake that I made and it was a very severe mistake, I would tell my supervisor because I feel like that is something that you need to do if in any job field, because you don't want to be able to hurt you don't want to end up hurting someone or something. And if you work in the animal field, you don't want to be liable to hurting an animal without telling someone and being able to fix it. So I feel like it's important to do that. So question 3. If you were hired, how could your supervisor help you do your best on the job? I feel like the super wow, excuse me. I feel like the supervisor would help me do my best in my job because I can go to them if I needed any help, and I feel like having that sort of relationship with a supervisor is very fulfilling in a job, and I feel like that would make me do my best job, as I can go to the supervisor, ask any questions, and he or she can help me with whatever, and I feel like I would learn and be able to understand what I could do with the next question without having to go to him or her again, unless I needed to. And I feel like that is a great way to handle something, and also to have within a job. So, question 4. As you can imagine, we have received many resumes from people interested in the position. Tell me why we should select you. I feel like okay, so I feel like I would be a great candidate, and because I am hardworking, I work well with others. I feel like I could also make the environment more friendly and more exciting, and so as much as I'm shy at first, I become more outgoing and I become more fun, and I feel like I can make the environment more fun and less kind of stuffy or anything like that. But I could also know when to work well and not to fool around. And I feel like that is something that is very good to do, because you shouldn't always be constantly working like straightforward, like gotta do my work, gotta do my work. But you should also be able to relax when you work, and I feel like that'd be a great thing. And I feel like within the veterinary field, like within a or animal field in general, like in a veterinary office, it's always good to kind of like let loose, because it is such a stressful job. You can deal with it. Can deal with euthanasia the minute you walk into work, and that can be so stressful for the next day, because you're so upset, or the next rest of the day, because you could be upset because you just lost someone you probably have known for a while. Even not um losing an animal right in front of your eyes can be very saddening, but I feel like being able to just stress and having someone to be there to be less kind of thing, kind of strict and sad, and being able to unwind and know when to be serious and when not to be serious is a great skill. And I feel like that would be a good part for me, as I do know the difference between when you have to be funny or relaxing, when it's a excuse me, when it's a serious time and when it's not. And I feel like that would be is a great skill and a great person to have on a team. So question 5. Tell me something about yourself that I won't find in your resume. Something you won't find in my resume is that I like to draw. Drawing is a passion that I started recently, about 2 years ago. I used to draw when I was younger. I used to trace and stuff, but I started to get back to it a couple years ago. I feel like that is also helpful in the jobs, in a job circumstance, because as an artist, you become a perfectionist a little bit, and you want to get your work done. You think, oh, I'm thinking about drawing. Um, let's say I want to draw Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon for someone, or for myself, and you always want to finish that job, because you as an artist, you think about it and you just want to do it, and you do it. And I feel like that's a great aspect to have in the career setting, because you want to do your job and you want to finish it, and that helps, because if you're handed a job that requires a lot of focus and requires you to finish it within a day or so, you, as an artist, as someone who draws, who has that focus, who has the drive to finish, it's a great skill to have within any work, and I feel like it's a great thing to do. And even if it's just a hobby, it's also something that helps within the job career. And yeah, also, I'll note on my resume, I used to play sports, and that has helped me gain further teamwork skills, and I feel that is a very useful skill to have when you're working. Excuse me. Question 6. Let's imagine that you're working by yourself and an unexpected problem comes up. Would you try to solve it yourself, or would you wait for your supervisor? So I've actually had the experience of working by myself before. Um, so if it depends on the severity of the problem. If it's something like a computer problem, like the printer isn't hook is not the computer is not finding the printer connected to, yeah, they're not connected to each other. So like you're trying to print something off, and the printer says, or the computer says that there is no computer printer found. Um, I know I would deal with that myself. Um, but if it's a problem like the whole system has crashed, or you can't get onto a program that you need, like within the veterinary field, there's a program called Avamark. If you can't get into that, it could be a problem, as a lot of the patients are on that thing, and if you can't get into that, it's hard to do your work and hard to write notes and keep up with the day. So I feel like with that sort of thing, not being able to get onto Avamark or your computer or anything like that, I would talk to my supervisor, as I would not know how to fix the problem myself. So I feel like um, personally, I feel that being able to solve little problems by yourself is a great skill, um, to but it's also okay to tell your supervisor if you don't know how to fix something, because you don't want to break whatever is happening, or break anything any further, and you don't. It's that wouldn't be a great experience if that happened. So, question 7. Can you give me an example of your problem solving abilities? So, um, I haven't really dealt with any problems in my life that are major that I could talk about, but I feel like some problems maybe could be in high school. Like two of my friends aren't friends because of something that happened between them, and I feel like I problem solved that by being able to still be able to friends with both of them, and still, and they both know that I'm friends with the other, and they're okay with that because they understand that the fight between the two of them is between them and it's not between me. But they understand, and as much as I've tried to talk to both of them, I know that um, it hasn't worked out, and it's just for the best kind of thing. Another problem solving, like my example is for my mistake example earlier, is that I was able to reassess my mistake and be able to problem solve by calling the customer. And I feel like if I hadn't done that, maybe the customer would be upset and would not come back to the store at the time. But I feel like having problem solving skills is a great skill to have, as you cause less problems within your workplace. Um, so if you're having problems, like if in the veterinary field, if you're having problems holding an animal and the other person is taking blood, you problem solve by telling the person, "Oh, I can't hold this animal. They're too fractious. They're too aggressive. We need another person, or maybe if it's a cat, maybe we need to cat bait them or have a towel." So giving them extra things might help with that. But personally, I haven't dealt with too many major problems to be able to talk about that. But I feel like if I were to experience something very bad or and have to work and do problem solving, feel like I would be able to handle it, and I'd hope to. And if I had any problems, I would go to my supervisor and tell them that I wouldn't be able to do it or not. So, question 8. What did you do the last time you received instructions with which you disagreed? I can't really think of any instructions that I have been given that I disagreed with, as a lot of the times in a lot of my workplaces and at school, the instructions seemed very clear and I understood them. So yeah, I feel like that it was okay to deal with. But I guess maybe some instructions that I have been given in my lifetime would be at home, where my mom tells me to make my mom tells me to make my bed every day, and and I guess I've disagreed with that because, oh, I'm sleeping in it. Maybe why do I have to constantly clean my bed if I'm just gonna mess it up the next that night? But I still went and did it because I understand it's my mom. It's my mom's house and it's the rules, and she just wants to make the place look clean and tidy. Especially if there's people coming over, I completely understand her way. But if I was given instructions that I disagreed with, I would be deal with the instructions in a calm and cool way. For example, if I was asked to take blood from an animal and I didn't have the skills or the training to do so, I would tell them that I'm sorry, but I don't feel comfortable with this, as I don't have the skills or the training, and I feel like I don't want to hurt the animal or something wrong to happen. Is it okay if I don't do this? And I feel like if those are something that would be something I would do if I was given instructions that I did not agree with, because I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. But if it was something straightforward, I would do them. But if it's something I don't feel comfortable with, I will tell the person that I wouldn't feel comfortable with. And I feel like that's a great thing because you don't want to hurt someone or something, or hurt yourself if you're put into a position of discomfort and or um something that you shouldn't be dealing with. So yeah, thank you for taking your time of reviewing this, and I hope to hear from you soon. Um, have a good day. Thank you. Goodbye.